I'm going to read you a little extract from my latest book, The Wine Cellar. It's the beginning of chapter 5, and our main character Lydia has just arrived at Doctor Kreisler's office for another therapy session. The shrink doesn't keep me waiting this time. He's standing outside his office when I arrive, talking to the secretary, who is looking quite embarrassed. I smile at her, but she doesn't smile back. She just opens the diary and ticks my name off a list. I look at Mr. Kreisler, who is wearing a shirt and tie, not his usual attire. And disappointment overwhelms me when I realise I can't see his chest hairs. I lower my eyes to his crotch instead, but it seems of normal size. Perhaps his trousers are bigger today, not as tight as they usually are. Maybe he detected that I wanted him on my last visit. Shame. I'm sure I would have enjoyed him taking me over the desk. "Come through," he says, in a not particularly friendly fashion. He seems reserved, distant somehow. I'm not going to part with my money if he's in a mood. I need his help, not his cold disposition. I follow him into his office, whilst he stands holding the door open for me. Then he closes it gently and beckons me to sit down on the brown leather couch. I do as he suggests and cross my legs. I'm wearing a flared black skirt with stockings underneath. There isn't really a need to wear stockings as it's quite warm outside, and I haven't bothered with a coat. I've also put a lacy bra on, and I discreetly brush my hand across my breasts and notice my nipples are hard. I wonder if he's noticed too. I've been thinking a lot about you during this past week, he says, breaking the ice, making me stare at him questioningly. I felt that your last consultation didn't go well, not as planned, and I've decided not to charge you for it. I attempt an embarrassed smile and nod my head with appreciation. It's kind of you, I say. Thank you. If there's something you want to talk about today, Lydia, then please say. You seem to have a lot of thoughts racing through your head, and I think part of the reason you need me to help you is because you overthink too much. Maybe you need me to just help you calm down a little. Be yourself. Chill out, as they say. He moves his body side to side in that teenage "I'm cool" fashion, and it makes me smile. He smiles too. It's good to see you smile, he says. That's what we're going to work on, if that's okay with you. It's fine by me, I agree, doing my nodding dog impression. I'm becoming so good at it now, it's almost second nature to me. I will have to change my name to Rover and pant and beg and lick my crotch. Or his. I don't feel like talking today. For some reason, I'm not in the mood to talk about myself or him. This is the 5th time I've been to see Mr. Kreisler, and the 5th time I felt seduced by his demeanour. He's been thinking about me the past week. What has he been thinking, I wonder? I uncross my legs and see him walk as I stretch out towards the coffee table. I know he wants to get between them. He wants to put his hand up my skirt and feel what's beneath, what awaits him. I imagine him leaning over and touching me. I can almost feel his hands caressing my thighs before he prizes them apart. I'm horny as I sit on the couch next to this overqualified gigolo. I'm not sure I want to be in his office anymore, if all we're going to do is sit here and admire each other before we talk about my past and the crap I've endured and the hideous existence I've led these past few years. I stand up, unable to control the excitement that is overwhelming me. I walk towards his desk and look at the papers strewn across it. There seems to be little order today, as though the meticulous precision of paper shuffling has left the building. It's probably what I should do too. Instead, I sit on his desk and swing my legs like a child waiting to be pushed on a park swing. More, more, higher, higher. I watch him watching me intently, perhaps curious as to why I have a sudden twinkle in my eye, as my legs swing like a pendulum in the hope they will be parted. Is it more comfortable on the desk? He asks. I nod. Would you like me to join you? I nod. He lifts himself from the couch and slowly walks towards me. He stops a few feet away, then puts his hands in his pockets. I think he's refraining from touching me, stopping himself from crossing that line of professionalism. He should fasten his top buttons and not walk around his office with a raging erection every time I visit. That would prevent him crossing any line. But he's already crossed it with me. I saw to that the moment I walked into his office for my first session.